so glad that we can meet again through this way, at least until everything goes back to normal. I hope you and your families are safe at home, and I really can't wait to see you again to see how much you have grown during this break. I'm going to be your teacher for today, so if you don't remember my name, it's perfectly okay. My name is Miss Estrada, and I will be teaching you today's lesson. So today we are going to review how to put numbers in order, whether it's from the greatest to the least or from the least to the greatest. But before we get there, we need to review something so we can refresh our memories. So I want you to think and tell me, what do you see here? What do you see on the screen? How do we call that thing? That's right. It's a number line, but there is something particular about this number line. Let's take a look. Exactly. That is very good. But you know what? I need more information. I need to know, how do you know the missing number is 9? I want you to answer using the sentence then. I know that because it comes before blank and after blank. So let's take a good look at this number line again, and let's try to fill the blanks in here. I know that because it comes before. You know the number before? It's the one that comes first, okay? The number before. I know that because 9 comes before. Exactly, before 10. And it goes after what number? After 8. Very good. So here we go. The missing number is 9, and I know that because it comes before 10 and after 8. All right, now let's try one more time. We have a number line again, but this number line is different. Let's take a look. There's also the missing number that we need to find, but this time it's a different number. Can you see where it is? Can you see the question mark? Okay, now I want you to think which is the missing number using the same sentence then. The missing number is blank. I want you to find somebody near you and tell this person and whisper, the missing number is... Okay, time's up. I hope you said that the missing number is 17. Very good. The missing number is 17, but again, I want to know more. How do you know it's 17? Okay, and I want you this time to use the second sentence then and tell the same person how you know that number is 17. I want you to say to this person, I know that because it comes before blank and after blank. It is very useful to see the number line because the numbers are there. Remember that the number before, it's always smaller. The number after is always larger. Okay, I will give you a few seconds to think. And remember to whisper to this person, I know that because it comes before blank and after blank. Okay, time's up. So I really hope you said, I know that because it comes before 18 and after 16. So there you go. You have the full answer. The missing number is 17. And I know that because it comes before 18 and after 16. Okay, and now we are going to compare numbers using a place value chart. This is just a complement from yesterday's lesson with Mr. Lara Cuente. Okay, so I want you to look at this box and I want you to tell me what that is. How do we call this? Exactly, we call it place value chart. That's why we have the word PVC. It stands for place value chart. Okay, so we are going to compare two numbers because that information will be useful for us to put the numbers in order, because remember, that's what today's lesson is about. Okay, so let me get the pointer here. No. Oh, what do we see here? What do we see here? We see two rods of tens. Two rods of tens and 3 ones, 3 units. Remember that when we make a number, we are making 2-digit numbers. The first digit stands for the tens. It tells you how many tens are there in that number. The second digit tells you how many ones. When we want to compare numbers, we first take a look at the tens. If the tens are different, there you go. You can make a comparison very quick. When the tens are the same, then you can take a look at the ones and compare which one has more ones than the other. Okay, so right now we have 2 tens and 3 ones. What number can you make after 2 tens and 3 ones? A 2 and a 3 makes the number 23. Very good. Now let's take a look at the other number. Oh, we have 3 rods of 10 and 5 ones this time. Again, this is a 2-digit number. The first digit tells us how many tens there are. So how many tens are there in this number? That's right, 3. And how many ones do we have in this number? 5. So we have a 3 and a 5. A 3 and a 5 makes number 35. Very good. So now we have the two numbers and we are going to compare them. Remember, it's not only about finding out what these numbers are. We are going to compare these numbers. And I want you to use this sentence then. Blank is more than blank. Remember, I just said, first you take a look at the tens. 23 and 35. How many tens are there in 23? That's right, there are 2. And how many tens are there in 35? You have 3. Okay, so this is a very easy way you can find which is more, which has more tens. Oh, 35 has more tens. So 35 is more than 23. Exactly. But there is another way we can use besides the word more. There's another word that we use a lot, which is greater. Both words mean the same. They have the same meaning. So you can say 35 is more than 23 or 35 is greater than 23. Both words are very useful. Okay? Now I want to use a different sentence then. Let's talk about less. I want you to help me fill this information so we can complete this sentence. Blank is less than blank. Blank is less than blank. Again, we take a look at the tens. Which number has less tens? That's right, 23. 23 has less tens. So, which number is less than which one? Exactly, we just switched the numbers because 23 is less than 35. 23 is less than 35. Very good. But again, there's another word that we can use instead of less. We use less a lot, but there's another word that we use a lot too, which is the word fewer. Fewer. So we can say 23 is less than 35 or 23 is fewer than 35. Okay, so this is just to refresh what you learned from yesterday's lesson with Mr. Lara Cuente. And another thing I want you to remember, right now we're just taking a look at the tens, but when the tens are the same, that's when we go to the ones and we compare the ones. And we do the same strategy, we apply the same strategy, but with the ones. Okay, because the tens are the same, so that means that two numbers are very close to each other. So we go to the ones and see, okay, which one has more ones, which one has less ones, okay? And we can make the same we use the same strategy to do the same comparison. Okay? Okay, now this is today's lesson. We're going to order numbers from the least to the greatest. Okay? So we have these three numbers. As you can see, we have numbers 38, 24, and 31. And we are going to put these numbers in order inside this box that you see below. Okay? Remember, we're going to order them from the least to the greatest. Of course, using yesterday's strategy just by taking a look at the tens and the ones, using a place value chart is a very good strategy to order these numbers from the least to the greatest. But today, we're going to make it simple, because the easiest way we can put numbers in order is by using a number line. So if you take a look at this number line, it goes from 20 to 40, because remember, we don't need to start every number line from 0. We don't need to start from 1. So this number line goes from 20, but there is an arrow that indicates that there are more numbers on the other side. And after 40, we have more numbers too. Okay? So if we have this number line, the first thing we need to do is to identify the place for these numbers into the number line. If you have a number line that you can touch, or on a paper, you can just make a circle with your pencil. Okay? In this case, this is a presentation. So I'm not going to make a circle, but I'm going to indicate you where each number goes. Remember, we need to order these numbers from the least. The least, that means the smallest number, to the greatest number. So let's start then by identify which is the least number, because that's the first number we're going to write. Okay, so the least number is the number that is the closest to 1. Remember, again, in this number line, it starts on 20, but the arrow tells you then what do you think goes before 20? 19, 18, 17. So that you will find number 1 on that direction. Okay, so let's see. Remember, the least to the greatest. So we can you see the arrow that points at where number 24 is? Okay, there is 24. Now, let's try to find the number that is the farthest from 0 or from 1. Okay, which number is the farthest? Let's take a second to think. Which is greater? The greatest number will be the one that is the farthest from 0. And we have two options, 38 or 31. Again, as we said earlier, if you want to compare numbers and the tens are the same number, then you compare the ones. So you will find which is greater, 8 or 1. Oh, 8 is greater. And let's find this number on the number line. Oh, it's right there. It's very far away from 1. Okay, so you have number 1 in here. And what happens to 31? Oh, I think that 31 just falls in between. It falls in between numbers 24 and 38. That's it. Do you see the arrow below these numbers? Because this arrow is telling you that you go from the least to the greatest. From the least to the greatest. That means that you have to just follow the order of the numbers on the number line. Okay? You follow the same direction of the numbers in the number line. So that means that what number are we gonna write on the first box? That's right, 24. And the second number that we're gonna write, or maybe if you have more, you can then find, okay, which is the farthest number? Oh, 38, but you put it on the other extreme, okay? Because the second number that goes on the second box will be 31. You remember, you follow the same order that you find in the number line, because you read the number line from the least to the greatest, okay, from the smallest number to the biggest number. Okay, and finally 38. So there you go. This is how you order numbers from the least to the greatest. Okay, but now let's twist it. Now we are going to order this different set of numbers from the greatest to the least. Okay, so we have numbers 21, 30, and 39. We need to use the number line again. We have the same number line, The number line, remember, that always goes from the least to the greatest, always, every time. In the previous exercise, the previous example was asking you to order these numbers from the least to the greatest. So you just follow the order of the number line. But in this case, they are asking you to put the numbers in the box arranged the opposite way, from the greatest to the least. So that's why you have an arrow that tells you that it goes from the greatest to the least. That means that this time you will start not from the smallest number. You will start with the greatest number. So what was the strategy about? First step, place these numbers into the number line. You can make a circle, you can make an arrow, okay? But just identify the place for each one of these numbers into the number line. So you have 21. Let's place 21. Okay. So 21 is it's close to 0. Okay. Then let's place 30 and 39. 39 is the number that is the farthest from 0, and 30 falls in between again. It falls in between again. So now you have that the least number is 21 and the greatest number is 39. But again, remember, it's very important that you follow the directions, that you pay attention to the question. It's not just order number from the least to the greatest. This time, it's asking you from the greatest to the least. So that means that you will start from the greatest number. And the greatest number is, I hope you said 39, okay? Because remember, you start with the greatest number, 39. And what's the number that falls in between? 30. And the least number is the one that goes in the end, because we're ordering these numbers from the greatest to the least, which is 21, okay? So this is the way you can order numbers from the greatest to the least, or from the least to the greatest, okay? And just using a number line. This is very simple. If you don't have a number line, you can use a ruler, you can use tape, measuring tape, or you can make your own. You can make your own number line, and that's gonna help you a lot. So what do I want you to do at home now? I want you to ask your parents or any adult their ages. Ask for your mom's age, your dad's age, your uncles, your grandparents, your brothers and sisters, and try to put this in practice. Try to put them in order from the least to the greatest. The least will be maybe the baby in the family, and the greatest number will be maybe your grandparents, okay? And then you do the same with uncles, with different sets of people, okay? And try to arrange them from the least to the greatest and from the greatest to the least. Okay, so that will be your homework for Friday. It's very simple, it's fun, and this way you will know a little bit more about your family. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I will see you soon again. Okay, see you, bye-bye.